I moved into the US last year and I wanted to fight for an asylum. I had an issue with the whole Nigerian stop government when it comes to the protest.
Okay.
And I do not have much funds. And my friend said I have to fight 6 months before my business expires. So I can probably,
You have to file the asylum within a year of your entry.
A year?
1 year of your entry, you have to file asylum or forever hold your peace. 1 year of your entry into America.
I actually want to start filing. I don't really know how to go about it.
All right, so you need to show that you are part of a political group that is being persecuted and threatened in Nigeria. That you are a member of this group and you are being persecuted and threatened, and you have to tell your story. If it's a situation where you're just scared to go back to a dangerous place because bullets are flying, that's not political asylum. Political asylum means you belong to a group, whatever that group is, and you're being persecuted. And then you tell your story, okay? And your story has to be believable. A long, detailed story about why you're being persecuted, how you became a member of this group, and what you do for this group, and why you're being persecuted.
Right now, I'm in the U.S. As a J1 student. Then I switch it to F1. Then I switch it to asylum. But my asylum case is pending. But this year, I find out that I've been selected for the DV lottery.
Congratulations.
My question is, if it is possible to adjust my status through the DV lottery.
Yes, it is, because there's never been a day you've been out of status, as far as I can figure out, based on what you told me.
Oh, okay.
So you would be able to adjust.
Since I came here as an asylee, and at the time we were residing in Pakistan, so my mom filled all the paperwork and stuff. She didn't mention that at the time I had a dual citizenship of Turkmenistan and Pakistan also. When we came to the States, the only citizenship.
That could be a problem, because as part of asylum, you got to show that you have no safe country to go back to. And perhaps you could have had a safe country to go back to this other country. So if I were you, I wouldn't talk more about it at this moment, but have a private consultation with me, because that could be a fraud.
Gotcha. Okay.
It could be a fraud.
My asylum case has been pending since June 2015. Do I have to close that pending asylum case if I want to apply for TPS now?
No, not necessarily.
Can my family and I still apply for asylum after overstaying on a B1, B2 visa for 2 years?
Only if there's changed circumstances in your particular country. So in other words, you have to file for asylum within 1 year of your entry into America, or forever hold your peace. If you're going to file for asylum after 1 year, you have to say something changed that didn't exist when I first came that now makes me need to file for asylum that I didn't need to before.
I have an asylum removal proceeding pending, but I got married back in 2018. I filed all the marriage documents, but haven't heard from immigration yet. But I didn't cancel my asylum case. What should I do?
Cancel your asylum case, because you can't get approved if you have a pending asylum.
I was seeking an immigration lawyer. My friend is detained at the Port Isabel Center.
Why?
We want to know what for seeking asylum.
Okay. How long has your friend been detained there?
Since the 26th.
Okay. Well, your friend was caught after the change in the laws on May 12th?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's a problem now, because if they ran across the border and then got stopped, then you can't apply for asylum. But now the argument would be that...
Okay, I understand.
Right now, assuming that, we can get before an immigration judge, the argument would be, I never ran across the border. I put my toe into the United States and I was held. So I'm still basically at the border. So I never crossed in, was undocumented. That would have to be the argument. I would need to speak to your friend. We would have to investigate this. That's probably why your friend's still detained in detention at the moment.
I came through the United States through Mexico. So I got married to my wife. She's a green card holder. So I have a pending asylum decision from the judge. So I went for the individual hearing, but I'm still waiting for the judge decision in the mail. So I don't know if it is possible for my wife to file for me while we wait for the judge decision, or do we have to wait for the judge decision before my wife?
Well, your wife put an I-130 visa petition for you, because if the judge denies your case and you have to leave the United States, at least you're somewhat on the way to being able to return. I would file the I-130 certainly, and then wait for the judge's decision on the asylum. And then let's figure it out from there.
So for now, my wife just have to put the I-130 petition.
The I-130 petition in. You already had your individual hearing, so you're not going to go back to the judge and say anything yet. Just file the I-130 as a backup. Wait for the judge's decision. If you get a negative decision, call me and have a consultation with me. How can you file for an asylum in Jamaica if someone tries to kill you? You can't apply for asylum in Jamaica. You have to get to a third country and then apply as a refugee, or you can try to go to the border, get the CBP app, and try to apply at the border. But you can't apply for asylum directly from Jamaica. I came across the border. I filed my asylum application last year in November. Can I get married to a U.S. citizen and adjust my status without going? It depends if you were paroled into the U.S. If you were paroled into the United States, yes, you can adjust your status. If you came without inspection, then you're not eligible to adjust. But you can file an I-130 visa petition and argue before the judge that you were paroled and they marked it incorrectly, meaning you came across the border, they grabbed you immediately, you took 3 steps across the border, within a few minutes you got grabbed, they held you in detention, and then they let you into the country. Factually, that's parole, although usually they check off you entered without inspection. So then you need a good lawyer to argue you were factually paroled in and immigration's incorrect.
I have a VAWA case pending. I have an individual coming up in July. I'm just asking whether, you have some advice for me.
It's an asylum claim, an individual hearing for your asylum claim?
Yes.
Okay. So you're in deportation removal. You filed for asylum. They didn't believe your case and you got sent to an immigration judge. You have a pending VAWA case going. If you have a strong VAWA case, I would postpone the individual hearing, request a recalendering, explain to the judge you want to go with the VAWA. If you have a really strong asylum case, I would roll the dice and go with the asylum case. If you have both a very strong VAWA case and a very strong asylum case, I would do the VAWA. Because you could always have a second bite of the apple with the asylum if the VAWA doesn't work out. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.